Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Starsector 0.7a, which came out just last week. I would have done a video of it earlier, however, I was busy over the weekend, and I couldn't get a second to do so. I've played a little bit of it, just to see if it worked, first of all. And the changes between this and 0.65 are so fundamentally huge that I think it's kind of, you need to start from scratch. It's almost better that things you learned for 6.5a make no sense in 0.7. So, this is a vanilla install. I literally just installed the game. And the hotfix that came out over the weekend. So we're going to start from absolute scratch. I'm looking at the change list is huge. The full change list is huge. But the small change list includes expanded battles, campaign terrain, sensors, ability. The base game has changed a lot, so I'm going to start from scratch. So, new game. Let's see. Same. Are there any new ones from last time? I can't remember. I can't remember any new ones. Same one as usual though. It says Nemo 0.7. Help pop-ups. Do we want help pop-ups? I'm going to keep them on for now, just because I want to see if any new ones turn up. Anyway, continue. Yep. Derp. Continue. Okay, start off with 2,000 credits. Over the last cycle, you have been making your living as an honest trader, a smuggler, or a bounty hunter. Interesting question. Because the last time I started off as a bounty hunter, I think, and it wasn't go well. I think we can make more money with trading this time. I've heard that was a thing. Maybe I heard wrongly. Let's go smuggler. Let's go between areas. To get a Hound class frigate with 15 crew, 20 15 crew, 20 supplies and 20 fuel. Recently, I do apologize. Recently, we have acquired some high-end weaponry, finished a lucrative smuggling run, or got some hands on some high-value cargo. We got some high-end weaponry. A heavy mauler, which is good. If this is the heavy mauler... I can't remember if the heavy mauler changes were Starsector Plus or they were Standard Sector. Good question. Right. All in all, recent life in the sector has been relatively easy or normal. More salvage, less powerful enemies. Normal. Recommended for more experienced commanders. Technically, this should be me. I mean, after 7 seasons of Starsector, if not more, considering minor seasons and things aside, normal should be me. Although we both know, there's only one of you, we all know that my experience hardly counts for a lot, especially in this version. In this version, experience does not count for a lot. But we're going to try normal anyway. Right. The skills you acquired over the last cycle were learned with some thought towards the future. That means we can assign them manually. If you don't know what you're doing, pick automatic, because the choices it makes are fairly simple. Right. So, assuming we don't know anything about Starsector is, let's start from scratch. You have the aptitude points. Industry still doesn't do much in this mode. The mods make use of industry, but vanilla does not use it. So you have aptitude points, which are combat, leadership, and technology, and skill points, which you can put into the skills. Your skills are capped at whatever your aptitude is. If I put a point into combat, I can't put more than 1 point into any specific skill. And skills, combat usually involves ships in combat, obviously, but a lot of them are specific to your piloted ship. If I focus over this one, for example, you can see what the effects of it are. It says plus percent weapon damage, but piloted ship only. Only the ship I am piloting will be affected by this specific skill. When I reach level 5, I will get plus 50% ballistic and energy projectile speed, but only from my piloted ship. And when I reach level 10, I'll get reduced ordnance point costs for weapons, but that affects all ships in the fleet, which is useful. You go piloted ship. A lot of combat ones affect only your ship. Very few things affect everything in the fleet. In fact, the only thing that affects all things in the fleet with this vanilla combat tree is that one, optimized assembly. Then there's leadership, which this increases the command points, which is the orders you can give during combat, because combat is real-time with pause, but you can only give out a certain number of orders in combat. And this can increase the number of orders you can give, and when you hit level 5, increases the marine and crew effectiveness during boarding and ground actions. Command experience increases the crew experience gained. Your crew can level up with you, and this makes it faster. And when you hit level 10, you need 50% less crew to take ships into combat. Then fleet logistics, which is a new one. I haven't figured out exactly how it works, but in previous Star Sectors, your fleet had a logistics limit, and every ship counted against that. Now, I think it changed that. The leadership skill gives you a -% supply use for maintenance, and fleet logistics expands that for even more. And then you have technology, which includes ordnance and armor and speed and shields and so forth, and that gives us what? I actually didn't do everything here. So you have missiles, weapon damage, hull and armor damage taken down, hit strength for armor damage reduction only, engine damage taken down, top speed and acceleration, flux dissipation rate, and shield damage taken down. Then you have target leading for auto-firing weapons, flux capacity, flux dissipation, ordnance points, armor, ordnance points again, faster ship repairs, and this is a new one as well, terrain movement penalty reduction, because I think there's now terrain in the overmap, the overworld, over galaxy I suppose, over sector. There is now terrain. Terrain used to be contained to galaxies only, to battles only, but now they exist in the over galaxy, over sector. Right, so I think it's important that I do well in combat, so I'm going to go for a bit of speed. I'm going to go for I've got a Hound. Hound doesn't have shields, so I'm going to put a point in hull and armor damage reduction. I'm going to put a point into weapon damage. And I'm going to put a point into either leadership or technology. Or am I? Am I just going to go... I might just commit to combat for now. Speed. Good. We shall start the game. So let's it generate the universe. As far as I'm aware, this isn't randomized. Vanilla Starsector does not have a randomized galaxy, but it does let some time pass to let the AI randomize bits of the economy. Right, pause. First things first. This is new. Entirely, but never mind, we'll get back to that. This is the overworld, the galaxy screen. This is our ship, our fleet. These are stations, planets, enemy fleets, communication relays, enemy planets. Well, enemy planets, they're planets for different factions. In case these are pirates, so they are enemies to me. Jangala, the orange faction is the hegemony. The grey faction are the independents. The red faction are the pirates at the moment. There are a few others. Blue is like barren or not colonized, which I don't think can change. Anyway, so this is the Corvus system with the planets Asharu, Jangala, Barad, Somnus, and Mors. Somnus and Mors are barren planets. Asharu is an independent planet. Jangala is independent. Barad itself is barren. I think it's a gas giant. But the Barad moons A and B are pirate systems. We have a ring there. We have an asteroid belt there. We have some nebula over there. Corvus Gate is a new one. That didn't exist before. This is a Asharu Stellar Shade. That didn't exist before. Okay. That is the independent, abandoned terraforming. That's basically an empty station that you can use for storage. This is the Jangala station, hidden pirate base, which is not that hidden. Anyway, right. What else do we go for? Let's quickly cover things here. How much credits you have, how many supplies you have, and as you fly around, your ship consumes supplies. As they're damaged or need to return to full readiness, they consume more supplies. Your fuel, you only spend fuel when you're in hyperspace, I think. Unless you're using emergency burn, which we'll get to later on. Is how fast you're going. My burn level at the moment is... My maximum burn level is 10. Really? Okay. Which translates to 1 light year per day while in hyperspace. My burn level, my slowest ship. Okay. That's new. That's new data. They didn't used to give all this data. That's nice. Ship maintenance, yep. Fuel maintenance. Yeah, oh, good. That's actually really useful. This data didn't used to exist before. This is how your combat readiness, the higher combat readiness you have, the better. I think 50% is the average. Everything above 50 is good and you get bonuses for it. Everything below 50 is bad. When you get too low, your ships start to malfunction. Your average hull armor status, your fleet-wide repairs, how long it was going to take. These are new as well. Sensor range and detection range are new. Because a huge part of this mod is the addition to basically changing how you can find other fleets. It used to be that you could see every fleet. If I zoomed out here, I would see every fleet currently in this system. But that's no longer a thing. That's what changes everything. You don't see everything. You literally only see fleets that you can scan. And I can only see fleets of... I can detect a medium-sized fleet with a sensor profile of 10 at a range of 570 standard units. And 2,000 units is 1 map cell. Really? Okay, this is 2,000... Wow. My range is very small. My sensor profile of 1, I can be detected by a medium-sized fleet of a sensor strength of 10 at a range of 1,570 units. 1,570 standard units. Abilities. Okay, abilities. These are the new things. Because now, your fleet, your ships have a transponder. A transponder is a device that exists everywhere. Planes have it today. That basically tells people who are scanning who you are. Transponders deplete this... Excuse me. Transponders transmit identifying information to all fleets within range. When the transponder is on, your fleet can be detected at longer range and full information on its composition is available at maximum range. Transponder status also affects the reputation changes from combat and trade. With it turned off, you might be able to trade with otherwise inhospitable fractions because they won't know who you are. You will see effects of that when we fly around because pirates tend to go around with their transponders off. In which case you'll see unidentified fleets because you don't know who they belong to because their transponders are off. In most places, running with a transponder off will attract the attention of nearby patrols, although several factions in certain free ports allow it. Having the transponder off does not grant perfect anonymity. Disables go dark when activated. So I have it currently on at the moment. If I turn it off... Hang on. Let's move around a bit. Oh, right. This is going to be annoying. Quick save, quick load. Yes, thank you. If I fly around for a bit, my burn speed. Okay, these are new things. These are things I need to know. I'm not sure... These are to do with sensors, and I'm not sure if that means that I can sense someone vaguely in the distance, or can they sense me? So, people who are a bit more educated than me can explain, and as they tell me, I will say in my future videos. But I think, given the curves of this, I think maybe I can detect someone in that direction. Anyway, so our transponder is on. If I turn my transponder off... If I turn with my transponder off, my detection range has dropped down considerably, because I'm not actively broadcasting my information. Let's turn that back on, because the hegemony does not like it. I think, given what this just appeared again, I think this means that people who have detected me. Here we have Go Dark. If you go dark, you switch off all non-essential systems, reducing the range at which your fleet can be detected by 50% and reducing the maximum burn level by 50%. You go slower, but you drop down from 570, which is the standard, to about half that, which is 285. Then you have Sensor Burst, turns off engines to reduce interference and link all sensors in the fleet into a single network, increases sensor range by 300 units, and increases the range at which the fleet will be detected by 5,000 units. Also brings the fleet to a near stop. Disables Go Dark when activated. I think we can give that a try. Can you see if you can find that out? Active Sensor Burst. Yeah, Active Sensor Burst has revealed to us a fleet there. This is a... what are you? Hegemony Patrol over there, Hegemony Patrol over there. Ludic Path Raiders over here. And so we've got that turned on, which means our sensor range has shot way up. Our detection range has shot way up. In fact, we are so big that I think we've actually capped out, because our base is 570 and we've increased it by 5,000, and we've capped at 5,000, so 5,000 might just be the cap. An emergency burn makes you go faster. You increase your burn level by 5, you consume fuel and supplies, and you reduce your sensor range because you can't see as much because your engines are generating interference, but you are easier to spot because you're burning very hot. It's basically your catch-up or escape tool. Possibly more of an escape tool because it reduces combat readiness of ships. So if you use it to catch up, you're going to be lowering your combat readiness for when you do catch up. Anyway, what have we actually got here? Character. This is our character and our skills. We gain experience for every combat, I think for trading as well. Our fleet, this is our fleet. This is our ship, the ISS Solstice 16. We have a current combat readiness of 64%, which is gaining benefits from improved combat performance. We've got, because of me, my captaincy, which has skills. Oh, right, they show me my skills now. Because they're captains now, I remember this. You can hire captains now for different ships. That's cool. I love that. I love the idea of that. The maximum CR for the ship is 64%. The factors contributing to it are me, 4%, and my crew experience. It's plus 60%. Because my crew is green, I think, but because standard is 50, the green crew gives you an extra plus 10. Now, because I've got 64%, I am 1% more maneuverable, I'm taking 1% less damage, and I'm dealing 1% more damage. There's no malfunction risk, and my autofire accuracy is standard. At the moment. Good. Then we have our hull strength. Hull strength is normal. Hull strength and armor strength are both 100%. Your armor strength gets depleted before your hull strength. There are 3 layers of defense. There's a shield, which not all ships have. My ship does not have a shield. It says, you see under combat performance, I can't move my mouse because if I move my mouse it'll disappear. I would love a way to get that to stay up. I can click on that, but fair enough. I've got no shield here, but I've got a hull, I've got armor. So when I get hit, things will be removed from my armor, and when my armor is gone and that specific part of the ship, I'll start taking damage to my hull. There's no shields. There's flux capacity and flux dissipation, which I'll deal with in combat. My top speed, I've got no flight decks, my maximum burn, how much fuel I'm using, how much fuel I can carry, how much crew I can carry total, how much crew I need to operate. If I have less than 10 crew in my fleet, and this ship essentially, it starts taking severe penalties to being able to be used. How much cargo it can contain, how many supplies per month. Oh wow, it's per month now. Interesting. They used to be supplies per day, but maintenance is supplies per month. So it's 3 supplies consumed per month of this flying around. It has shielded cargo holds. Yeah, we'll cover that. So yeah, every time I deploy this in combat, I'll lose 10% CR, but I'll recover 5% per day, and it costs me 3 to recover it to full? Or is it 3 per 5%? We'll see. And when I'm in combat, I have 240 seconds of peak performance before my CR starts to degrade just by being in combat. Like stresses on the crew and on the ship and so forth. The Hound-class combat freighter, an old but durable hull class that lacks a shield generator. This frigate is sometimes used to ferry cargo instead of combat duty. A lucky or gifted officer could make his fortune given the chance to captain one. Yes. Okay, we got that sorted out. The refit screen? Yes. Refitting a ship in space is a bad idea. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to show you what it is. It's basically where you lay out your ship. In a station, you would be able to upgrade its equipment. Now, combat readiness, my captaincy. Guns. We have 2 guns at the moment. We have a medium ballistic gun, a assault chain gun, and a light dual machine gun. Each gun has lots of different stats. The main ones you need to worry about are the mount. Mount, primary roll, and ordnance points are the really big ones, and damage type are the big ones to worry about. Because there are 3 kinds of mounts. There's an energy mount, a ballistic mount, and a missile mount. These are both ballistic mounts. You can only equip a weapon to a mount that matches it. There is also the universal mount that can match anything. But they are not as common. They have all the limitations. There's also so there's the mount, the medium, the size of the mount, small, medium, or large. Ballistic, as opposed to energy, missiles, ballistic. primary role, the only thing that really matters there is if it says point defense or not. Because if it says point defense, it'll automatically target fighters and missiles. Missiles especially. So if it does not say point defense, it will not target missiles. Because my light dual machine gun says point defense, it will target missiles being shot at me in this arc. Like as far as over here. If a missile comes from this direction, it can't do anything about that. It's my job to keep this gun being able to fire any missiles if I wanted to do so. The assault chain gun can only fire forwards. It hasn't even really got a turret. It's just firing forwards. Damage types. There's 3 different kinds of... 3? There are 4 different damage types. I'll cover that when I get into a... Let's go into a station. It'll be a lot easier if I do that there. Then I can show you off. Show you off? Show it off. See, I detected something there. There's the Hegemony Patrol over there. They've all got captains now, I see. That's got 2 cruisers? Yeah, you can see the basic breakdown. Anyway, Dangala Station. Boom. This is your ship and pushes Dangala Station. So in a station, you can do a lot of stuff. You can repair your ships. You can refit for free. The refitting is free and it doesn't cost CR because you're in a proper dock for it. You can buy and sell ships. So I could sell this one. I could buy ships here. The tug, shuttles, huge capital class tankers, civilian transports, freighters, combat freighters. I'm not good enough with good enough standing with the hegemony to buy from the military, but I can buy from the open market. I can buy from the black market, which if I'm caught is a bad idea, is a bad thing. So, let us go to the refit screen. When refitting at a space station, you can mount both the weapons in your cargo hold and the ones available for purchase. Undoing the changes refunds everything, but only if you haven't navigated away from the refit screen. Yeah, it's true. Anyway, so if I go... it's actually not useful because I can only employ ballistic weapons. Yes, this is trading. Let's see if I have one of every kind. Okay. Mining lasers, point defense, but it deals energy damage. Energy damage is equally effective against all forms of defense. It'll deal the same damage to shields, armor, and hull. High explosive does less damage to shields, but more damage to armor. Kinetic damage does less damage to armor, but more damage to shields. And fragmentation? High explosive. Is there fragmentation somewhere? Here, high explosive as well. Fragmentation. Fragmentation does little damage to shields, little damage to armor, but it does a lot of damage to the hull. And it's usually used in like point defense and things like that, because fighters and missiles don't really have shields or armor to speak of, which makes they're more effective in that regard. We are technically a smuggler, so we should think about buying some things and doing some trading soon. But I'm basically trying to cover the basics as we go. What have I not covered yet? Map. This is the map. When we leave the system, if you leave the system via the jump points, we'll see the hyperspace, which we'll do that before the end of the match. End of the video to show you that. Intel basically shows you everything that's happened. A lot of this stuff has been, since the game was generated, it lets a couple of months pass. So all the things that happened, you have loads of trade disruptions, loads of bounty offers, price updates, food shortages. You got missions you can get now, events, any specific events, any bounties happening around here, any price changes to worry about of specific goods, any reputation changes about you, any star system. You can filter by star system, so anything in the Corvus system, which is our current system. That is a lot more systems than last time. Anyway, the Corvus system, these are ones that apply to the Corvus system. There's a bounty offered by Jangala. At the moment, there are 2,200 credits for a frigate. And also your standing with the hegemony must also improve. Likely triggered by pirate activity, so if you fight some pirates, we'll get money for destroying their ships. And there's also channels, which is if there's news or intel. It's useful to keep an eye on. But you can just keep an eye on it. And I use it a lot for bounties, but knowing just what's going on around you is very useful. And you can see what factions you've got. You have the factions and how much they like you and who their enemies are. So for example, if I fight hegemony enemies in hegemony space, the hegemony will probably like me. So I'm currently neutral with the hegemony, the Ludic Church, the Syndrian Diktat, the Tritachian Corporation, and the Independents. And I'm currently hostile with the Pirates and the Ludic Path, who are new? Or are they just not in the mods? They're basically radical Luddites. Luddites, I guess. Yes, they're hostile. They will attack me on sight. We've done intel, we've done that. Outposts, I don't know. Let's just fly around, right? What do we have? We have the heavy mauler. Okay, let's see about the heavy mauler. If I drop in here, go refit, I will drop off the assault chain gun for the heavy mauler. I have 30 ordnance points to spend putting equipment on, and this one costs 10. Heavy mauler costs 12, which means I need to free up 2 points. I'll free up 2 points by removing 2 points of venting and give myself the heavy mauler for free because I already own it. Top speed armor hull. Flux is like heat in other games. As you take damage or use weapons, flux will build up. If your flux maxes out, you overload. Flux dissipation is is how much you passively shed flux over time. Weapon flux per second, how much flux your weapons generate if you fire them non-stop. And you can also actively vent to lower your flux. Weapon groups. See, I got my heavy mauler on my 1 group, my light dual machine gun on my 2 group, and my 2 group is set to auto fire at the moment. Variants I never really use, but you can basically create and save loadouts for specific ships, export them and then load them, as long as you've got the equipment. Strip removes everything from the thing. Run simulation lets you go into basically a simulation and just test it out. Let's just fly around though. I'm gonna make my way out into the hyperspace so you can have a look right that. And on our way out, we will see if we can determine more of these mechanics. So emergency burn, pirate raiders. Okay, we have a pirate raider here. An unidentified fleet. It's unidentified because its transponder is off. But it was transponders off. We literally didn't see it until it was right there. We spotted it over here. Okay, let's find out what we have here. Our current transponder is on, but we're not going to dark. It's going to pursue us. It's probably a pirate. No, it's Ludic. It's a Ludic Path Raider. There it goes. We could try to burn to run away from it, but really I want to try to see if I can catch up to it. Okay. We could go dark, but I think it's too close. I think it'll find us anyway. So, Ludic Path Raiders, here we go. So we're going to go into combat for the first time. So we have our ship and their ship. They have a Cerberus Ludic class, Ludic Path version attack frigate. If you hit F1, you can see more about what it's got. It's got a faulty power grid, safety overrides, unstable injector, heavy armor. It's got a light mortar, a light dual machine gun, a flak cannon, and a light assault gun. Which means I should be able to outrange it with my mauler. It has an accelerated ammo feeder as its system. Every ship has a special system it can use. It also has no shields. It's also hull integrity. It's been damaged slightly from something else. But you can see all the stats relative to us. It also does not have any shields, like I just said that. You can attempt to disengage, which means it says right there, you attempt to retreat from battle, and basically you enter a combat where you have to run away. Or you can move in to engage, which is what we're going to do. We're going to attack the opposing fleet. We could speak, open the comlink, but a lot of the time there just isn't anything to say. Especially when you're fighting raiders, like they're going to fight you no matter what. If you're negotiating with like patrols, the comlink lets you like maybe talk yourself down if they're going to scan you or something. Let's quickly continue. Because if we had more ships, we could transfer our command between them, but we don't, so more ships. Here we go, continue. Into combat. Alright, pause. Things to note about first. Deployment points and command points. Not relevant at the moment because I've got 1 ship, but deployment points is how many ships you can have in a single combat, and command points is how many orders you can give to your fleet. Increasing your command points means you can give more orders. For example, if I went into the map, I could give an order, like, you go there, for example. My command points went down. My command frequency is open, which means that any orders I give now will have no additional command cost. Right. It's currently autopilot because I give it an order. I'm not going to disable autopilot because I'm going to fly it myself. But, okay. Here I have, any bonuses affecting your fleet are here. Every time you have 0 flux, you have a top speed boost. That's something very useful to know. Here you have your speed, your armor. If I get hit from this angle, for example, my armor on this side will start getting damaged. If I get hit from this angle, my armor here will start getting damaged. I'm sure you will see that as time goes on. My flux levels, my hull, my special is a flare launcher. If he fires missiles at me, which he doesn't have, I could deploy my flare launcher to, hopefully, give me a hand with that. I can see what weapons I've got and what groups they're in, and if they're linked, and if they're auto-firing. This is the specific group you have here, which is, in this case, the heavy mauler, so it has infinite ammo, and its reload bar will be here. Name, class, what kind of version it is, and you can fly. You fly basically by WSAD, so D, A, S to speed, W to speed up, S to slow down. If you hold shift, your ship will automatically face your mouse. I use that all the time, to be honest. Oh dear, here we go. Anyway, right click to attack. This should be very useful for me. I say that, but it's unlikely to be true. It's my flare launcher. I'm trying to get out of here because I'm definitely faster than this guy, but I'm not that faster in the retreats. If I hold R over him, I can lock over so I can see his data all the time. Oh god, this is bad. This is very, very bad. I'm very bad at combat. Everyone who watches me constantly will tell you I am stupendously bad at combat. Okay, come on, come on, come on. There is, like, Antonio Figus, if I turn around and just turn around, I'm still flying backwards. Oh my god, I'm gonna win this. I was not expecting to. I've done very badly so far. Especially when I start a new game, my early ships are not very great, so boom, there we go. You can see, for example, where my hits were damaged, I have no armor there. Anyway, we lose any relationship with them, we get some credits, we can go through the salvage, we get some supplies, some fuel, some metal we can sell, we get some experience. We have damaged ship. It'll take us 4 days to repair. If you go to F1 here, you see my ship repairs and CR recovery are costing me 1.7 supplies per day, and it'll cost me 4 days to fully repair. Why did that go up? Engaged in battle means you're more likely to be seen. Fair enough. Right. Your fleet supply can... Yes. Right. You got a bounty payment because we killed one enemy thing. We got a bounty payment for that, which is good. I'm also gonna turn off my... If you turn off your transponder in this system, they really don't like that. Anyway, let's go out here. Order jump into hyperspace. That costs fuel. It costs like 1 fuel to jump out. Here we are. This is hyperspace. It's gonna cost us fuel to jump around. This is our system. This is the Corvus star system. There's the Barad. There was Corvus, the Jingala. There's the Fringe system. Every system has a Fringe one, just in case you don't want to jump into any next to any specific planet. If I hit Tab, that is the sector. Now, A, we have a lot more systems than we used to. B, you can see now there's a lot of terrain, a lot of nebulas around here, a lot of gravity wells around. I can see Mercantile Convoy, Bounty Hunter. There are a few fleets nearby. And next time we will try flying around. I'm going to turn off my transponder now as well. I am technically a smuggler, so I really should not be flying with that thing open. But next time we will see about traveling around, exploring a little bit. I want to see if I can get some smuggling done, because now hopefully with the transponder off, we can probably dock into stations and planets that are not allied to us. Cool. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this look at Starsector from scratch. If you have watched my videos before and are used to Starsector, then maybe this wasn't as useful for you. But I think the changes to 0.7 are so huge that it's worth starting again and reminding people, and even people who are just starting, because I think 0.7, as every big patch does, is likely to bring in some new players. And carrying on as if nothing's ever happened and everything's the same harms them slightly. If you have any specific questions about Starsector, let me know. Just write it in the comment section, because a lot of people who watch my videos are very, very nice, and they will reply and they will answer questions and have debates in my comment section, which I love. Thank you very much for that. Anyway, tomorrow we will carry on. I think this series for 0.7 maybe might last a week or two. My Season 7 of Starsector is still going on, which is 0.65. It has a lot of mods turned on, so if you haven't seen those, I do recommend it. And we shall see how it goes. At some point soon, possibly when this finishes, my Season 8 of Starsector will be on 0.7, and we'll get as many mods as we can in there as well. I will see you guys tomorrow. Let me know what you think. Is this a good format? I mean, is this sort of tutorial thing worth doing? Let me know. I was unsure if I should do this. My insecurities are piling up now. Anyway, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I will see you then. Bye.